Welcome to Culinary Confessions. I'm your host, Chef Mike. Today we're here with Katlin and Nicole, and I think they're going to be making us a nice dinner entree, aren't we?
Yep.
What are we making today?
Stuffed peppers and
some garlic mashed potatoes, and for dessert we're having Oreo fluff.
Oh, nice. Before we get into that, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourselves? What school you go to, and that kind of thing? Senior, junior, what? Give me all the pertinent information.
I go to Marysville High School, and I'm a senior, and I'm ready to get out.
Ready to go on to bigger and better things, huh?
Yep.
I could understand that.
I'm Katlin Pfropper, and I go to St. Clair High School, and I'm a senior. Yeah, I can't wait to get out of high school either.
So, now that you introduce yourselves, who got you interested in cooking? Nicole?
For me, it'd probably be my grandpa and my aunt, because when I was little, always seeing them cooking, like always kind of influenced me to want to cook. My aunt's a really good cook, and her mom is a really good cook, and when I was younger, I'd always watch them making all the goodies, like the cookies and the brownies, and I always wanted to be like, oh, I want to be able to make that. And it's really, I started making food, and it made me happy.
I kind of like it because it was like instant gratification, because once you were done with the meal, there it is now. Who likes it and who doesn't? You know.
Yeah.
So, Katlin?
I'm kind of the same way. Like I have two aunts that are both really into that. My one aunt does like a lot of cakes and all that sort of like fruit carving stuff, so that really interested me.
I've seen some pictures of your aunt's work. That's really nice.
Yeah, she's really good at that stuff. And then my other aunt, always when we were younger, we'd always like make gingerbread houses and Christmas and like all the little candies, and so that really got me interested.
Now, you took that class on melon carving too, didn't you?
Yeah.
Over at Macomb College and stuff. Well, you both did.
Yep.
Are you going to get into that maybe a little bit? And
I was thinking about trying it again this year, the advanced class, just for fun. I don't know if I could ever really get into it. I don't know if I have the patience for it, but I'm probably going to try it again.
I think that would be something I'd be interested in, because like my aunt, she's found different competitions that she like wanted me to do with her, so I think I'd try it.
So, you guys cook at home?
Yeah, I do. I cook dinners all the time.
You cook more at home now since you're at Tech now. Now both of you've been here for 2 years now. So you're both seniors. So you get to cook more at home now than you ever have.
Definitely. Yeah. I think my parents have a little bit more trust in me from being here.
Yeah, well, that's good. How about you? You cook at home?
Yeah, I cook all the time now. So.
And your favorite foods to cook?
I'd say like Dutch apple pie, or the other day I made homemade macaroni and cheese. It was really good. So
I like to make stuffed peppers, stuffed cabbage, and steak. Lots of things to do with the meat, more of the hot side. Okay,
good. How did you find out about Tech? Who told you about Tech? Remember 2 years ago or 3 years ago, who told you about Tech?
I think it was like the counselors that when they came into our school, and then like they're like telling us all the programs. I'm like, oh, culinary arts, that's so sweet. So,
are you either one of you working right now in the business?
Not right now, looking, but.
Okay. Anybody out there looking for a couple of really good chefs? I have a couple right here. Okay. So anybody interested? I would ask you how Tech compares to work. Have you worked in the business at all?
I have, and I actually worked for Carol Morgan at Hard Rock Cafe, the big like kitchen that they have back there, and it was really nice. It was bigger than here, but some of the techniques and things that they do are different. They have way more people working there together as like a team.
Oh, that's good. Okay, plans after high school. Now you all want to get out. Now where are we going?
I'm going to Macomb Community College for their culinary arts program. So. All
signed up and everything and ready to go?
Pretty much, yeah.
Excited?
Yeah.
Good. How about you?
I'm also going to Macomb for culinary.
Okay. I guess that says something about Macomb College in the area or something. They're going to get a couple of really good students. After you get out of Macomb College, okay, and you're going to have to go through, just like everything you do here, the pantry end of it and the hot side end of it and stuff like that. What kind of restaurants? Where do you want to work? What's your dream jobs? Where do you want to end up?
I don't know. I think it'd be really cool to work with like cake decorating and all that sort of like things that people make crazy stuff for like parties and, or I think I might want to be a chef in a restaurant too, so I'm not sure yet.
Do you know what kind of restaurant?
Maybe like a finer dining, but not like super fine dining. I don't know.
And you?
I'd definitely like to own my own restaurant and probably be a chef there, things like that. I'd like my family to work there because my family's into cooking, and I'd like to have like a higher end.
Higher end cooking? That's nice. So you guys watch Food Network?
Yeah.
And who's your favorite chef besides me?
I think Chef Ramsay. Yeah, I like him a lot.
I don't yell as much.
I
How about
like
you?
Buddy from Cake Boss.
Would you? Okay. Would you guys like to be a TV chef? Do you ever think about it when you were watching Buddy and Chef Ramsay screaming at people and things like that?
I would definitely like the control over the other people, but I don't know if I'd like to be on TV all the time or not.
Yeah, I think it'd be kind of interesting, but.
Well, you get your shot today.
Yeah.
Okay? You're both on TV right now, so before we go into the kitchen, I need to know more about what we're going to be making. You want to give me a rundown and what you're making and what you're making?
We're gonna make. Well, Nikki's gonna make stuffed peppers with her recipe, and then we're gonna make some garlic mashed potatoes.
Okay.
And
Where'd these recipes come from?
I got the stuffed pepper recipe from my grandpa. Made it all the time when I was little, and he passed it on to my mom, who passed it on to me.
All right, and you're going to pass it on to me when you're done, right?
Yep.
Okay. Katlin, what are we making?
The garlic mashed potatoes was just like a recipe that we came up with, but the Oreo Fluff's recipe from here, so at Tech.
Okay, Oreo Fluff. We sell a lot of that here too. So nice, simple dessert, whipped cream and stuff. So this sounds like a really good segment. Okay, I think we can get started just right after the break, right? We're going to take a break. We'll be right back, and we'll be in the kitchen cooking with Katlin and Nicole.
Welcome to St. Clair County, a great place to live, work, and visit. Our firefighters, law enforcement officers, and paramedics are highly trained and pride themselves in responding to assist you in a matter of minutes. However, in a large-scale event, emergency responders may not be able to assist everyone in the first few minutes, hours, or even days. Would you be ready if your power was out for several days? A storm confined you to your home for an extended period of time, if authorities requested you evacuate immediately. The Be Ready for 72 Hours program allows you to take charge before an emergency to assure your family and neighbors remain safe. Simple steps like having a plan and emergency supply kit can make the difference between being in harm's way or being safe and secure. Don't wait until it's too late to prepare. Be ready now, St. Clair County.
Hello, we're back, and I'm Nicole.
And I'm Katlin.
And today, Katlin will be showing you how to properly peel and cut a potato.
Okay, so we have 5 potatoes here, and first we're going to start peeling them, and then we're just going to cut them up into smaller pieces.
Now, why do you cut those, Katlin?
You want to cut them up into smaller diced pieces because then it'll cook faster in the boiling water, and then it won't take a lot longer. So we're putting them in the pot, and you want the water to just cover the potatoes, because if you don't have enough water in there, it won't cook them all right.
Why do you put the potatoes in the water right away?
So that the potatoes don't start getting like brown, and then they don't look all bad, because you want the final potato to look good. And you always want to make sure that you don't have a dull knife, because when you have a dull knife, that means you have to use more force, and it could be bad if like your finger got in the way. So after we get all these potatoes in here nice and cut up, we're going to put it on the stove about medium to high heat and boil them for about 20 minutes or so. You should check them, and if they're tender and you can like get a fork through it, it should be good and they should be ready to mash. Okay.
Now, can you only use a fork to check them?
No, you could probably use any sort of utensil most likely. But we'll get these on the stove, and when we come back, Nikki will show you everybody how to make some stuffed peppers. Hi, we're back, and I'm Katlin, and this is Nicole, and she's going to show you how to stuff a green pepper.
Okay, well, first what you need to do is clean it out. You need to make sure that you get all the seeds out, and I'll show you how to do that right now. You just cut your top off, and you actually want to save your top because you can use it to put into your mix for your green peppers. And what you want to do is take a paring knife and just cut all these little parts around, and then you can go ahead and twist it and pull it out. And you want to make sure that you get all the seeds out of there.
And we want to chop these up into smaller chunks, right?
Yep. Small enough to mix your meat into your meat. All right, and then so to make the meat to stuff these with, you're going to take 1 pound of ground hamburger and about a 1/4 cup of cooked rice. And you're going to need about a 1/2 cup of tomato soup to put in there. And some salt and pepper to give it some taste. And then also the pieces that Katlin's cutting up for me right now. You're just going to put your hands in there, get them nice and sticky, and mix it all together.
So where did you find this recipe at?
Well, actually, my grandpa used to make it for me when I was little, and it was always my favorite meal. And then he showed the recipe to my mom, and she started making it, and then she finally showed it to me, and that started to become my favorite meal to make too.
Yeah. I think after you showed me this recipe, I'm going to go home and make it for my family.
Hopefully they like it.
Yeah.
And then what you're going to want to do is take your peppers. You want to stuff one too?
Sure.
And just take about half the meat because you're making enough for 2. And you'll probably have a little bit extra that you can put in between the peppers when you put them in your pan. So that way you have a little bit more to eat. I know my little brother at home doesn't like eating the peppers. He just likes the meat, so that's what we do for him. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take the rest of your tomato soup, which is about 1 can, and you're going to mix a little bit of water into it to thin it out. Mix that up. And you're going to pour it over your stuffed peppers.
That looks good.
Mix it up in there really good. And then what you want to do is you want to have your oven preset to 350, and we're going to put these in for about 1 hour and 10 minutes.
And then when we come back, while these are baking in the oven, we're going to make some garlic mashed potatoes.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Hi, we're back, and I'm Nicole, and this is Katlin, and she's going to show you how to do our garlic mashed potatoes today, and after that I'll show you how to make our Oreo Fluff dessert.
Okay, so we took the potatoes and we drain them, and now we're going to check. So you just take a fork and you just kind of mash it in the potato, and if it does that, then it's pretty much ready to go. So we have our masher here, and we're going to take a 1/4 cup of sour cream and dump this in here. Okay, and then we're going to just start mashing, and then
After that, you need milk too, right?
yep, it's 3 tablespoons of milk.
And we need 1/8 cup of butter.
It's getting a little stuck in there.
And then also some salt and pepper. Just a little bit's good. All you need is about 1/2 teaspoon of salt and about a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. And then also we're going to add about a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic.
And then you just mix it all up in here good so it's nice and creamy. And then later on when we plate it, we're going to put about 1/2 teaspoon of parsley on top for a nice little garnish. Okay, so after we get all this mashed up, it should be nice and creamy. And we're going to start with our dessert, the Oreo Fluff.
Okay, and what we have mixed in here, we already have our pudding in our milk mix, which you need 1/2 cup of milk and about 6 ounces of pudding. Usually that'll come in 6 ounces in a large packet.
And we want to let it sit for about 5 minutes so it's not all watery.
And then what we're going to do, we have 16 ounces of whipped topping, and we're going to add this into here. And we're going to make sure that we fold it in. And you always want to make sure that you fold it so that way you can keep as much of the air in it as possible. You're going to go from under and over. And you're just going to keep doing that until it looks pretty good mixed in there.
I love this stuff. It's probably my favorite stuff that they sell at TAC for Snack Shop.
It's good. We sell a lot of it too.
It's really good when you mix it in, you get it, and then you get 2 chocolate chip cookies, and you put it in between like a sandwich.
Mash it right in between.
Yeah.
They're good frozen too, like that.
Mm-hmm. So you can do lots of different stuff with this. You can even mix it on some ice cream and put some hot fudge on top if you want a lot of chocolate. And then right in here we have 14 Oreos about, and we just chopped them up so they're not like full Oreos because that wouldn't be good at all.
Then we're going to add these in and mix it up a little bit more. Make sure that you keep folding the whole time so that way it stays really light.
And if you let the Oreo Fluff sit for a little bit, the Oreos get softer so they're not as crunchy, but I think it's better when it sits for a little bit.
And that's how we make our Oreo Fluff.
And when we come back, we're going to have the stuffed green peppers and everything all plated out here. Oh, okay, we're back, and we're going to show you how to nicely plate all this food so it looks all nice and presentable. But, okay, so we're just going to put some nice portion mashed potatoes on each plate. And then we're just going to take a little bit of the parsley flakes and sprinkle that on top so it looks all nice and pretty. Okay.
And then what we're going to do is we're going to put our stuffed peppers on our plate right next to our mashed potatoes. And we're even going to put a little bit of the sauce left over on top of them. Give it a little bit of that extra flavor. And then we have our dessert. We're going to put them in these nice cups that we have here.
We have some yummy chocolate chip cookies with it too. just put a few scoops in each cup.
And then if you want to try the cookie sandwich, you want to hold one of these? Then you can just put some, kind of a lot, squish it right in there. And slap the other one on top and you have yourself your own little Oreo fluff cookie sandwich.
All right, and when we come back, we'll talk to Chef about our dish.
Cotton balls, duct tape, spoon, needle, thread, scalpel.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Welcome back to Culinary Confessions. Nice segment, guys. Nice. You know what I noticed? This was a whole lot easier than when you explained to me what you were going to make. I thought we were going to do this, and then that, and then the other thing, and you guys made it look like it only took 10 minutes. Great segment. How did it go for you?
I thought it went really well. I actually liked making it. It was fun.
Was it?
Yeah.
So now being a TV chef got a little bit easier then, right?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a lot harder.
How about you?
It got a lot less nerve-wracking as it went on.
Oh, that's good. So did you maybe think about doing more TV now and stuff like that?
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay. I like the kind of the recipe and how it's passed down through generation and generation and stuff like that. And I keep telling people, and I tell people over and over again, I get to sound like a broken record, but you know, when your grandma and grandpa are alive and stuff like that, try to get some kind of story behind the dish that you made, okay? Because now you're going to pass it down maybe to your kids and further on. So you're going to have to well, my mom told me that this is how it was, or your grandfather told your mom he made this while they were walking to school 9 miles in the snow, right? Barefoot uphill, right? Exactly. Okay, but it sure did look easier than when you explained it to me. How long should this take about at home to make?
If you're only making 2 of them, it should only take about an hour and 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay. The best thing about the recipes that you made, and the worst thing?
Best thing's that they taste good. I don't know what the worst thing would be.
Probably that it's not, you know, one of those quick 30-minute meals. It takes a little bit longer. You're going to have to watch over them in the oven to make sure they don't burn or anything like that. But
well, like I said, this came out, and I noticed you didn't use a lot of garlic and a lot of salt. Use sour cream instead of a whole lot of whole milk and things like that. The mashed potatoes, we need to kind of talk about, you know, considering everybody's trying to watch their weight and things like that. What can we do to this dish to maybe make it a little bit better? And then we're going to talk about the Oreo fluff. That's just marvelous. Okay, but how can we make maybe the mashed potatoes better? Can we use yogurt maybe instead of the sour cream?
You probably could, yeah. I don't think it would taste too much different. Maybe just like a plain yogurt. Maybe if you like left the salt out, and I don't know much more you could do, but I think that would probably help a little bit if you wanted to watch it.
Use the yogurt, maybe a little less butter and stuff like that. Yeah. Now the stuffed peppers. Let's talk about the stuffed peppers a little bit.
For the stuffed peppers, you could probably use ground turkey instead, and I've also heard that buffalo is really good. It's
really lean.
Yeah, barely any fat in it, so maybe you could try those recipes too at home.
And you wouldn't mind anybody changing your recipe up, would you?
Nope, that's fine.
Since there isn't any really big secret recipes out there anymore. All right, now let's talk about these great desserts. Okay. Well, one other thing I wanted to say. You said your brother didn't like the stuffed peppers, the bell pepper part?
Yeah, so he would dig it out from the inside and just eat the meat mix.
And I noticed you put some extra stuff in, and it got all the flavors of the bell pepper and everything, and he doesn't mind that.
No.
Well, that's a good thought because you could use the same recipe. We could make stuffed cabbages with this, right? Mm-hmm. And we could maybe make meatballs out of it and stuff like that and put it in there. I know I like, you get up in the middle of the night or something like that and you got to make a sandwich and you don't want to put the bell pepper on there, but that little stuff around the sides instead of digging it out. I'm glad you mentioned that. That's a useful thought there for that. Okay, now let's talk about the dessert. What are we going to do with that to make it better? To make it less fattening. You can't make this much better.
Maybe like low-fat milk or something like that, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. You could take yogurt, vanilla yogurt, and put it in a screen or like cheesecloth or something like that, and over a pot and let it drain and kind of make a cheese out of that, and that can take maybe a part of the the whipped cream that you used and stuff like that, and it's got the vanilla flavoring in it. And then I'm sure that there's low-fat puddings out there like from Jell-O brand and stuff like that. So that can make that dessert a little bit different anyhow. We're not doing anything to the cookie though. I would like to see that frozen. Okay. Of course, I like everything frozen, desserts, but I'd like to see that frozen so it didn't ooze out into my hand. But what a great little cookie sandwich. Ladies, you did a wonderful job. I hope you guys are coming back. Okay, when you're off to Macomb College and stuff like that, come back and please visit us. Okay, you're always welcome. Back at Tech and stuff like that. And thanks for sharing the dinner with us. Okay, and thank you for sharing Culinary Confessions with us again. I'm Chef Mike, your host.